next part of linear equations and functions, where we're going to be talking about finding the slope of a line passing through 2 points. So the slope of any non-vertical line through any 2 points, x1, y1 and x2, y2, is modeled by the formula m is equal to y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1, where x1 and x2 are not equal. So this is important. Why do you think x1 and x2 cannot be equal? So another way that we can look at slope is change in y over change in x. Or for some of you who are going on to calculus and beyond, you are going to see this represented delta y over delta x. Okay? We don't really need to know the delta y and delta x thing right now. Just wanted to put that out there for you guys for the future. So let's look at calculating the slope of a line that passes through these points. So we can kind of look at graphing these, -2, 0, and +3, 1. And we can work to count rise over run. And also considering rise over run is change in y over change in x. Well, we consider what happens when we go from 0 to 1 in the y's. We add 1. What happens when we go from -2 to +3 in the x's? We add 5. Well, let's look at the formula now, where we would have 1 minus 0 over 3 minus -2, which is the same as 1 over 5. And that, my friends, is our slope. So when we draw this line through here, we can also see, pick a color that'll stand out, that we rise 1 and run 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we rise 1 and we run 5. Our slope is 1 over 5. Now let's take a look at this one. So take a moment. Take a moment and consider, if we do letter B, what is the slope of this going to be? Well, you can do this one of two ways. Change in y over change in x, or the formula, and you should get that the slope is 0. Well, what does that line look like? So if we look at graphing this line, a line with 0 slope is this horizontal line that goes through here. All right? So go ahead and find the slope for C. And again, we can consider change in y. Well, this one we're going down 5. Over change in x, we're going up 1. Or our formula, -1 minus 4 over 1 minus 0, which is -5 over 1, which is just -5. And again, if we look at plotting these points and then connecting our dots, this is a line with a slope of -5. And now take a look at D and see what you think the slope would be. So we're going to consider how much does the y change? How much does the x change? Well, the y goes down 3. The x doesn't change. So doing this the algebraic way with the formula, 1 minus 4 over 3 minus 3 gives you -3 over 0. And what's the answer when we divide by 0? So hopefully you remembered. This is called undefined slope. And again, let's kind of take a look at what this kind of a line would look like. So if you recall, a horizontal line had 0 slope. A vertical line has undefined slope. Now, we can also take the slope that we find and create the equation of a line using this point-slope form of the equation of a line. And when we have a slope of m and we pass through a given point, x1, y1, we end up with the point-slope form of the equation of a line, y minus y1 is equal to m times x minus x1. And pro tip here, does not matter which x1 or which point you choose as x1 or y1. Yeah, it does not matter. So let's take a look at what that looks like. So first of all, we have 2 points. And the first thing that we really need to figure out is our slope. Okay? So using whatever method you want, I'm going to use the formula. So 5 minus -2 over 4 minus 1 gives us 7 over 3. Okay? So our slope is 7 over 3. And notice this tells us that we want this in slope-intercept form. And recall, the slope-intercept form is y is equal to mx plus b. Okay? So we're going to need to take our point-slope form and manipulate it. And this is where I'm going to show you that it does not matter which way we do this. So first we're going to do it with the first set of points here. So we have y minus -2 is equal to 7/3 times x minus 1, which gives you y plus 2 is equal to 7/3 x minus 7/3. And we need to note that 2 is the same as 6/3. Okay? So when I subtract 2 from both sides, I get y is equal to 7/3 x minus 13/3. Now let's look what this will look like with the other point. It's going to start out very different. Y minus 5 is equal to 7/3 times x minus 4. And at first glance, it doesn't look like these are going to be the same equation at all. I mean, we've got a 5 and a 4 where we had a -2 and a 1. How are we going to get there? So y minus 5 is equal to 7/3 x minus 28/3. And again, we kind of need to note that this 5 right here is the same as 15 over 3. So I'm going to be adding 15 over 3 to both sides. And that gives me y is equal to 7/3 x minus 13 over 3. And you can see there that we have the same equation regardless of which point we chose. So I'd like for you to try this one and put your answer in the comments, and we will take a look at this at another time.